another thing that I'm getting a lot is that I couldn't understand because I am not a professional boxer. So for some reason, there's no way for me as a member of the boxing media to actually know how to properly score fights because I've never participated in a professional boxing match. Is the idea?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know who would be great to argue that point would be Larry Merchant and Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, that's true. And I know that Floyd is of this camp, right? That you can't know. Floyd has even said in terms of corner, how can he have someone in his corner who hasn't been in this situation before? I think cornering is different, obviously. Commentating, obviously giving your opinion, everyone has one. But the thought that a professional fighter's opinion is just automatically more valid is simply untrue. And I'll prove it. So
This is a good one.
Yeah, so here's why. Sergio Martinez, Paulie Malignaggi, Lennox Lewis, Bud Crawford, Teddy Atlas. They're all people who are professionals, and I'll even exclude Teddy because Teddy had a crazy wild scorecard.
He called it a robbery.
He called it a robbery. Well, so did Paulie, but Teddy had like a 8 rounds to 4 for Triple G. So I'll take Teddy out of there because I thought his scorecard was ridiculous, right? But excluding Teddy, Sergio Martinez, Lennox Lewis, Bud Crawford, Paulie Malignaggi. Not only are those fighters, like, let's go through that list. Sergio Martinez is, he held the titles that were in these divisions that these two were competing for, right? So Sergio Martinez was a champion in that weight division twice, right? More than once. Lennox Lewis is an all-time great heavyweight.
Oh, yeah.
One of the great heavyweights, if not the greatest, certainly of his era, but could compete in any era, I would say. Bud Crawford is easily in the top 3 pound-for-pound fighters in the world right now. Most have him ranked number 1, okay? And they all think that, and I didn't even count Paulie. I didn't even count Paulie, who is now an expert commentator.
He's actually one of my favorite boxers. Because
I loved watching Paulie.
Because he didn't have a lot of pop, but he was one of the best boxers technically. And, you know, his career was mostly off of the jab.
His career was mostly off of the jab. I agree.
Controlling the fight with the jab.
They're not just fighters. Okay,
no, these are Hall of Fame guys.
Yeah, exactly. These are Hall of Fame guys, and they think that Triple G won. So, explain to me again how someone's opinion is not valid if they're not a pro fighter. So, also, I'm gonna take a guess that the 3 judges who awarded Canelo the decision were not professional fighters at any point in time. So their opinion isn't valid either. So like the whole argument of if I'm not a professional fighter, I couldn't possibly understand or I couldn't find things. It's absolute nonsense. There's many professional fighters who compete at the highest level of the sport who think Triple G won. They're Hall of Famers. The judges who gave it to Canelo aren't professional fighters, so their opinion must not matter either. So maybe we should just have it all redone. Maybe we should just go at it again.
Well, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I know it's going to happen. But the point is, it's a ridiculous thing to say. Like, I watched the fighter, Luke Campbell, fought last night on DAZN. I watched the fighter who lost basically every round in that fight jump up and down like he won, went over to the corner and asked Sergio Mora if he thought that he won, all this different stuff. He had lost almost every round. It was literally like a 119 scorecard, 119 to 111. The fact that you're a professional fighter does not mean that you know how to score rounds properly or any better than anybody else who does it.
I think you have a more valid opinion than somebody who just watches boxing.
Sure. I mean, I guess I'm not saying that my opinion is more or less valid than any other individual, but what I'm saying is that as a comment to say that I couldn't understand, I don't know how to judge things because I've never been in a professional fight, right? It's absurd. First of all, there are professionals that agree with me, and they happen to be people who, like I said, are Hall of Famers and are at the highest level of the sport. Roy Jones Jr., okay, here's the other thing. People are tearing apart HBO's broadcast team.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've
I
seen
didn't
that.
like it.
Really? Yeah.
I didn't like it.
People are tearing apart HBO's broadcast team. And
they had no chemistry. They seemed like they were falling asleep the whole night.
Punches is with me, by the way. Punches just got on and said 12th round, Triple G won. Watched it 5 times. Thank you. I appreciate it. But thank you for your support. But Roy Jones Jr., who everyone is tearing apart HBO's broadcasting team, and they all say the same thing. None of those guys know what they're talking about except Roy Jones Jr. Now, they have to say that because you can't say you're only a pro boxer should understand and then tear apart Roy Jones Jr. because he competed at the highest level of the sport for so long. He's one of the best who's ever done it, right? So nobody tears apart Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. thought it was a draw.
Yeah.
Roy Jones Jr. at the end of the fight said it was, and that's what I said in the fight recap, that it was a draw, right? So Roy Jones Jr. thought it was a draw. So I don't understand. I don't understand the my opinion can't possibly be valid thing. I don't get it.
Well, what I find funny is that the fight is so hotly contested now, and that it was so close. Yeah, sure, you've got quite a few people on the expert side, professional fighter analysts that gave it to Triple G.
Not quite a few, the majority of people on the expert side.
It was so close that it definitely warrants the third fight, and that's what we're gonna see.